Fading Suns, a iconic production in association with Ulisses Spiele International. We are the Fading Suns group, the crew of the Oh Boii, under command Captain Calypso Mars, are traveling through the Fading Suns universe. It's a game set in the year 5000. It is a space fantasy role-playing game. Fading Suns is going to be going into its 4th edition later this year on Kickstarter, and so we decided to get together and do a playtest group that we're going to be sharing kind of our vision of Fading Suns as we see it through the eyes of the playtest. If you're interested, tons of great Fading Suns material out there available, drivethrurpg.com, places like that. What do we mean by space fantasy? It is science fiction in the fact that it has spaceships and blasters and las guns and artificial intelligence and all sorts of alien races. But it is more grounded in the medieval mindset than it is in kind of your standard science fiction mindset. The church is pervasive. It's one of the things that has kept humanity from falling deeper into a dark age. The noble houses rule their planets and their fiefs. An emperor has just arisen. And you all are moving through that and exploring this universe together. So, I'm JM. I will be your game master as we journey through Fading Suns. We're going to start by just going around and introducing everyone, and then I'll give a recap of where we are starting.
I'm Maddie. My character's name is Gemma, and she is a sister battle. So she's essentially the tank. So full armor, light purple hair, fun buns.
Yeah, you're kind of the like a battle monk of the church, almost like a Templar knight.
Yes.
Hello. My name is Lee. I play Calypso Mars. She's basically a space pirate. She is the captain of the Oh Boii, which is the ship that we all found ourselves on. She does not have purple hair. I don't really know what her hair is. It's kind of like a fashion mullet. There may or may not be some heavy inspiration to a certain 70s, 80s pop icon. But, yeah, that's Calypso Mars.
I'm Abby. I am playing a character we will be meeting tonight. Her name is Olestra Parthena. She is a noble of the House Hazat. Her calling is a spy, but her cover is a healer. So things could get interesting.
Cool. And I'm Becca. I am playing Jexa, a young human engineer. I say human because we do meet aliens. They're around. And I think I've kind of been adopted as the mascot. But I'm very capable.
And my daughter.
That is true. Some other NPCs that you will see very early on. There is Gregor. He is the first mate on the Oh Boii. And Sister Alexa, a priestess of the Sanctuary Aeon tradition of the Universal Church, which is kind of their healers. You will also meet Nigel, who nobody really sure what Nigel does, but he is definitely attached to Sister Alexa at various points.
I know what Nigel does.
He wears ruffled shirts. We've established that. And Virgil. Virgil is a small icon statue of Saint Virgil, the protector of lost and far-flung travelers, that came to life months ago when your group was on a space station. The group had gathered for various reasons. Gemma to investigate possible technological heresies against the church. Calypso because she needed gas for the ship.
Simpleton.
A different character, really. Kotak, an alien noble who was traveling with Gemma. And Jexa was there because that was where her apprenticeship was supposed to take place. The group got caught up with Sister Alexa and a woman of light named Beatrice, who could not speak because, well, one, it was the chapel of the Silent Lady, and two, there seemed to be some sort of mechanical device that prevented her from speaking. And so the group very quickly became interested in her story and freed Beatrice. And in doing so, when the gag came off, she disappeared in a burst of light and energy that drained the space station of all power. And no, they do not know how many people got off the space station before it fell into the dwarf star that it was orbiting. However, that is when Virgil awoke and explained that Beatrice is Saint Beatrice. She travels a circuit through the heavens, and that he was to act as guide to those who would follow after her. And so after a brief stop on Ravenna, one of the major planets in the Empire, where you sort of got caught up in an attempt by some rogue bureaucratic agents to summon some sort of demon from the darkness between stars, and it gave them the ability to infect and raise the dead as husks. Kotak died during this uprising, being converted into a husk herself, and then being promptly electrocuted by Gregor in his third great act that cemented him as part of this crew.
Yes.
Respect.
The group was able to stop.
Oh, these go backwards.
What was that? Oh. The group was able to stop Magister Michael and the provincial governor Leonardo from summoning Ashkagael, this demon of darkness that dwells between stars. It's probably a good time to bring up why the game is called Fading Suns. We are thousands of years in the future, and the stars have started to go out. The church believes that it is because humanity became so obsessed with technology that instead of spending time polishing the mirror of their soul to reflect the Pancreator's light, they became very selfish and inward focused. And technology became their gods. And so instead of reflecting the Pancreator's light, darkness is spreading through the universe. So the church is trying to inspire, coerce, depends on what planet you're on, kind of a reignition of belief in the prophet and in the Pancreator. People hope that this new emperor who has been elected will also help bring the stars back, but those on planets, even those who travel on starships, believe that there are creatures that live in the darkness between stars, and as there is more darkness between stars, it's more terrifying to travel in the night. So, after dealing with the husks, you all boarded the Oh Boii, followed Virgil as he directed you out system to where the jump gate is, and plugged in a jump coordinate that you did not recognize, and it took you to some place of legend, known as the Graveyard of Ships. When you came through the jump gate, there were hundreds of derelict, destroyed, blown apart starships. Some great battle here happened during the Second Republic. There are no records of it. I believe you even looked in the church archives and did not find anything. So, as you kind of came out of the jump gate, the Oh Boii got its bearings. You saw that whatever these two armadas were fighting over lay at the center, and that all of the wreckage was kind of spinning clockwise around a dark jump gate that's not active. Virgil told you that he would definitely be able to activate it if you got closer. And you've heard rumors, Captain Calypso, that smugglers come out here. People are always trying to come and salvage parts from the Graveyard of Ships. at least 4 or 5 times in your life, someone has tried to sell you the coordinates to the graveyard of ships where you would make your fortune. But no one ever comes back, and these things tend to be not so much rabbit or wild goose chases as they are either ambushes or something out here still eating ships.
Oh boy.
So that is where we will start.
I do believe Calypso last time actually called a team meeting to try to decide what the heck we're gonna do with all these floating ships.
I'm gonna stay up on
There's so
the
much
bridge, Captain.
technology.
Didn't we
That's
say
good.
there's gargoyles
You
on the jump
did.
gate?
Yes, and you were unable to make out what type of gargoyles, but you do know that gargoyles are usually found around what is known as Urtek, the very first race that explored the galaxy. People refer to as the Ur. They're the ones who left the jump gates. So,
Do you guys think we could stop and pick up some technology
I mean, I'm into it.
from one of these ships?
Carefully into it. With great finesse.
Alexa's like, I don't know if we should. This already seems very... What do you think, sister?
I'm already on the ship.
Yeah, yes, you have to be, remember that's why I said you had to be someone from the church, because the group never left the church.
Gotcha.
Yep, you are on the ship.
Great. What was the question again?
What do you think about this plan of salvaging things from ancient starships? There's a reason that they were
It's always
destroyed.
dangerous. We know that all of this technology goes against the church's teachings. This could be very dangerous.
All of it?
I can spacewalk. Let's do this.
Maybe on the way back. Because we don't know what has blown these ships up.
I think you promised on the way back.
On the way back.
Okay.
If I die, I'll die in glory.
I'll see what I can do.
Why? Why?
Don't
At least
open
die
that
in a
door.
spectacular manner.
Virgil, can you get us safely to the jump gate, or?
No, but I believe I can open it when we get there.
There's guns on this ship, right?
I'm not so much worried about other ship shooting the ship. I'm worried about the gargoyles on the jump gate.
Oh, the Guardians.
shooting the
The
ship.
Guardians will do nothing against the ship.
What about the people in the ship?
That depends on what lies in your heart.
Bright shining goodness?
Then you should be fine, dear Jexa.
Oh, good.
Maybe we should take a minute and just meditate, like we've been working on.
Right.
I want to get a black box.
Oh, ooh. What's a black box?
A black box is generally when a ship goes mayday and knows it's going to die, the captain leaves a log in the black box and we know what happened to it.
Yeah, we spent a lot of money recovering those. Nigel says.
No, I
Yeah,
know
no, I
it was
figured, but I was going
Nigel.
to,
Nigel
for
says.
those who
I was-
haven't been playing with
I
us
was
for
gonna say,
months
so Nigel,
and know my bad
have
accents.
you been here before?
Me? No. No, not at all. Heard of it. The black boxes, they go for a lot of money.
That's
Guilds, they want the information. If those
Yeah.
are really Second Republic ships,
Yeah, right?
if there was some corporate information on that.
okay. You're a bad influence. Sit down.
I'm just...
All right, I'm meditating.
No, we're not meditating. We're
No.
going to talk about black boxes.
Okay.
Okay. It would probably, Gemma, hear me out. A black box may tell us what happened here. If we get onto a ship that still has this black box intact, which I'm assuming most of these still have, being that most people, you know, whoops, around here, that most of them are still going to have their black boxes. We should probably get one to understand what is in the center of this and why it's all still spinning around it. Sometimes I'm smart, sometimes I'm not. I'm not entirely sure if this one's smart or not, but I think it's a good idea.
It's usually in the aftermath, but
Generally, we find out if Calypso's ideas are good or bad after they happen.
Is
Mine are
as
bad.
on the we're in the mess hall. Where are we for our team meeting?
I was assuming probably a like a conference room.
Are
but
there
on a ship.
windows or screens
I don't
to
think
the
they're-
outside?
I don't
Okay.
think their windows are a structural weakness.
Yes.
So I don't think so. I think there's only just the one window with where
Okay.
Gregor is. I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, that's,
Never
that's
actually seen plans of my ship.
fine.
I will make a note.
Okay. Windows are a structural weakness.
Ship for Lee.
Yes.
You realize this is going to be boxes, right?
So excited.
Okay.
One time I drew it, it was a cow's head, so it's fine.
Well, so what if it all is orbiting the center gate, then everything seems to be coming from that center gate. Things on the outside might be safer. I really want to go on one of these ships,
Gregor,
Gemma.
where are we in conjunction to everything that's spinning around? Are we relatively on the perimeter of it, or are we in the thick of things?
No, Captain, I've kept us about 500,000 meters away from the outer rim of the
So
star
we
field.
could get to an exterior ship, which would be a little bit safer.
If, the reason why they're all derelict and floating is from the gate itself.
Sorry,
I
I'm having
mean-
a really hard time because I watched something last night that leads me to believe this is booby trapped, and it's
Oh.
really hard to not have that.
It super
what
is
I'm
booby
thinking.
trapped. Becca knows
Super
this.
Calypso knows this. She still wants a black box.
Jam has a poker face.
No, don't.
All right, turn it on.
I don't like it.
Is there a way we can plot a course to the gate and get close enough to get one en route?
Well, the problem is somebody's going to have to leave the ship to get it. And yes, what was your name again?
Alestra.
Alestra. I feel like I knew one of those once.
You did once.
Long time ago.
Does she
Galaxy far,
slightly
far
look
away.
a little bit familiar? Did I?
Can you
No.
spacewalk?
Of course.
I don't believe you.
I can spacewalk.
Yeah, you can.
Of course I can spacewalk. That took, what's it
I
called?
can spacewalk.
Spacecraft operations.
I can totally spacewalk. I spacewalk all the time in my apprenticeship.
How long were you apprentice for?
Well, I started when I was younger than everybody else. So I've been an apprentice technically for 8 years. I really should have only been it for 4, but I got started younger.
So
You
how
sure
long
you're
till
not
you
getting
go
that
from
mixed up with the
apprentice to
moonwalk?
something else?
Well, so I was on Milan to do one of my final tests to go from apprentice to entered. But Milan is no more. So I was supposed to become the next step on Milan.
They let apprentices spacewalk?
Yes, all the time.
So how do you deal with this?
Yeah,
zero
guild
G?
codes aren't really that difficult.
Oh, have you seen Jexa spacewalk?
No.
Has she ever spacewalked, as far as you know?
I don't know. You met me. No.
Okay.
And Alexa's just like, shh. You're not helping.
Oh, I was gonna ask Gregor, who's in the guild,
Right?
if Jex has ever spacewalked.
But he's not in the room with us.
But he's on the comms.
Oh, okay.
She opened a comm to him
That's
earlier.
There we go.
No. But again, I just met her when you were
But is it common for
killing me.
apprentices of the guild to spacewalk?
Yes.
officially or unofficially.
Both.
I mean, sometimes, and yes.
That's your call.
We're gonna go to spacewalk.
What are we doing here again?
Play it cool.
I'm playing it cool, guys.
Hey. Okay.
Nigel's like. Ruffle, ruffle, ruffle.
I don't think she should go on a spacewalk, but you know.
It would I mean, I could go by myself. We're presuming that these ships don't have any. Gregor,
Yep.
can you scan for life forms on these ships that are in our vicinity?
You hear some switches. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
I mean, not that there's no heat signatures look like humans, Captain.
Okay.
Did the husks have heat signatures?
You did not check.
We did not check.
Oh boy.
Because everyone loves fighting the undead in zero gravity
Okay.
with suits that are
So
easily
this is-
perforated.
Really terrible. When in the aftermath, shortly thereafter of Kotak incident,
Yes.
was Kotak warm to the touch or not?
Kotak was warm to the touch, but she was
Almost, I
deep
feel like-
fried.
I feel like I would have
Well,
intimately known
it's-
that as I drug her body.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
I was trying to see if she had a heat signature. or not.
She was very warm, like electrocuted warm.
I know that feeling.
Yes, yes.
4 times over.
Much like you were, only you walked away.
Okay. So your proposal is what? We just go to the gate?
Yep.
And ours is we get a black box.
Get information before we go straight for the Black Gate, which might kill us.
Yeah, because do we know what's behind the box? Virgil, where are you?
Right here, and he's like right there.
Hello.
Hello.
Tiny, can you just hello? That's better. What is after this gate that we're about to go through?
I do not know.
Okay. Do you know if these ships came through it into here, or they were trying to go that way?
I believe they were trying to go through. No one can go through the gate without the knowledge in my head.
So there's your answer.
Okay, so the knowledge in your head.
For Beatrice.
So the knowledge in your head is already in your head. So we can just go through because you know a thing.
I
Or does
am
the
the
knowledge
key.
have to be outside of your head?
Yeah, do you want to share with the class?
When we get close enough, I will open the path.
I really wanted
a black
box, but
There's your answer. We don't.
I have no way to influence you getting a black box, Captain Calypso.
so nice when he calls me captain. Okay. Do you have any thoughts? You're just
I believe we should keep following where Virgil points us. This black box seems irrelevant.
Yeah, Captain, what about sending the little man through space to get the black box?
I don't think the little man will just
I will not.
yeah. A for effort, Gregor. A for effort. Gregor, have you ever spacewalked?
Oh, what was that, Captain? You're breaking.
Can Nigel spacewalk?
Gregor,
just refused.
put on your big boy pants and answer the question. Have you ever spacewalked?
I have spacewalked many times, Captain.
Many times.
Many times. I don't like it.
Did you get a little queasy?
No, there's just something about the really tiny suits and the really bigness of space that make my eyes feel like they're going to pop out of my head.
He's afraid of the vastness of space.
Yeah, I'm concerned that you are not.
And the tininess of the little suits.
Right.
Don't.
Yeah, Gregor is a big boy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Gregor's.
Yeah.
So
Are you writing a
jump
note?
game.
No,
Okay.
I'm just making a note.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm doing that too for no good reason.
Oh boy.
So jump game.
I just feel like we're missing out on extremely valuable information.
And technology.
I am right. I'm
And
with her.
technology.
Also with them. I'm not saying I get a vote, but if I do,
I mean, you're
Black box.
first aid.
no, this is Nigel.
Alexa,
This is
Oh,
Nigel.
gosh dang nabbit.
Yes.
are you feeling the same thing I am? That maybe we should just leave things lie?
Of course you would. You're all religious and it's not. Maybe you
shouldn't
touch the technology.
I would not have put it quite like Captain Mars would.
Jackson's like,
But basically what Captain Mars says, yes. I feel that it is very clear that technology destroyed all of these ships. There is nothing but death around this gate.
People used technology to destroy these ships, which were created by people.
Yes, and then they created better technology that influenced the minds of those who used the technology. Very soon, the blurring between machine and man failed. Right. Technology's gonna make us all crazy. Crazy rich.
Okay, so Nigel, I understand where you're coming from. And it would be very normal of me to be like, yes, let's be
Right,
very rich.
Right?
So the logical answer
Very
here
rich.
is I need a black box. I need a black box because I'm curious and I want to know, and because money. Or government influence.
Right. Money is the root of many trees, as the Omega Gospels say. And Alexis just like, much like Gemma's.
And me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's so many religious people in this ship, and then there's so many very much not.
It's about a 50-50 split. Yeah.
well, you are the captain. So what you say goes. She's not the
I
boss
will
of
point
you.
out.
Oh, I
On one hand, I want to do it. On the other hand, I keep looking at Jay and being like, "Give me your secrets."
Make a decision.
Let's do it.
Do the ships that are destroyed look well armored?
Does Becca want to try it?
Most
Hi,
of them
we do it.
are.
Look, we don't.
Okay.
There
You want it to
are
change, or do you just want to do it?
I don't know.
several large transports and almost colony ships types kind of in there. But again, they're not just uniformly human. The majority of them do seem to be ships of war. There is, I mean, you're a trained sister battle monk, so you would know, yeah, that one was destroyed by torpedoes, and that one, that's high, concentrated high energy output, scoring and slagging. Explosive decompression, something was hit like a reactor that exploded from the inside. All of these ships bear the scars, and like we kind of described last time, there are still some lights. Every so often you'll see arcs of power, electricity, but everything seems just very dead. And if it wasn't for the slight rotation and those slight little blips of power surges, the whole thing is pretty quiescent.
What was your roll?
13.
Was that a high or a low?
That's a high.
We're
It's
doing
above
it.
10.
We're doing it.
Do we have any sort of shields we can put on the ship so if we wake something up, the ship doesn't go up?
I'm glad you asked.
I thought so, because Gregor did it last time.
Did we fix them after all the
I thought they were
husks?
energy that you just like turn on.
They are, and you do have energy shields.
Yeah.
And your ship is.
Special.
You should get you a card with all of your ship
I
information.
have
We were-
it. I just didn't pull it
I'm
out.
really bad at this thing called organization. Prepping.
All right, so your ship can make it. So it has basic sensors up to 5. It has shields when it's stopped and when it's moving at half of its normal speed. If you go above half speed, the drain on the engines is too much and the shields drop.
Okay.
You do have 2 laser turrets. You have 4 grapple guns, 2 on each side, and you also have 2 additional lasers on both the port side, like fixed guns, port and starboard.
So your sensors only pick up tech level 5, huh? You know, if you let me, like, fiddle with that, I can fuck you up.
Well.
That was a no. Okay. Jackson keeps trying again. She'll try again later. It's fine.
maybe next time. Okay. We're gonna spacewalk.
You're
What
going
if
to
we go
spacewalk.
to one of the ships that isn't a warship?
Like a colony ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So just so you guys know, at your sensor rating, it'll be able to detect a ship's class and speed and rough planetary info. You'd have to upgrade it a little bit higher to be able to detect
ship.
factions, what systems they have access
I'll take
to,
Alright.
planetary details, that sort of thing. So you have essentially pretty rudimentary sensor capability.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, the Oh Boii is the height of its
There
class.
we go.
And its classes.
I didn't say anything more than that
Excuse me.
because Calypso Mars scares me.
She scares a lot.
She enters into a room and there's slight conflict. Is she gonna kill them or is she gonna see reason? I don't know.
So yes, you have 4 suits to go out into space.
Okay. So you
Why
wanna
are you
go?
looking at me?
Yeah, wanna go?
I'm definitely going. Gregor has spacewalked. He
Um,
probably should be, but then we
but
don't
does
have
Do we leave
anybody
a
here.
pilot on
He
the ship?
should
That's
stay
what I'm
in-
saying. I said but.
Oh, okay.
Sister Gemma, I would feel so much safer if you were to come with us.
Nope.
Gemma's feet
What,
stay
he's
right
gonna
where the
stay
Lord
here
meant them
too?
to be, on the
Surprisingly
deck of the
super
spaceship.
familiar person.
We ever get you that? You ever find that sweet power armor? You'll just
Very well, I will come.
Okay,
Somebody has to save your butt.
I'll take that super familiar person. Let's do this.
Is that my name now?
Nigel, you wanna come?
I mean,
Think of everything you could find. Bring
I
back.
thought it was a black box
Yes, we're going for the black box.
and not disturbing anything else.
We're going for the black box.
Look, we're going for the black box. If we happen to just kind of take a few other things, circumstantial.
oh, I do not feel good about this.
Nope.
Terrible idea. I like when we intentionally do the wrong thing.
I ended up dead when I did that last time.
Nope, not even going to that.
I feel like that was a very obvious
Yeah,
bad.
go into that.
You literally bit us.
Hey,
And we
I
all were
ended
like,
up
no.
dead when I did the intentional wrong.
All right. Well. All right. So, Nigel, Calypso, Jexa, and Alestra, you are all going to spacewalk to the nearest ship.
Well, I'm assuming we're getting a little bit closer, but yes.
Spacewalk. Stats again.
I don't have to go on the spacewalk.
No,
I'll get you as close as I can. And
Yes.
the ships are.
Utilize those excellent skills, Gregor. Very freaking close. If it almost touches, honestly, if it kind of just, we're fine, you know?
Yeah, when she landed at Milan Station, Gregor, she put a big scrape in the side of the ship
Not my best
at the
moment.
station.
Not my best moment. Before that wasn't my best moment either, but we're not going to talk about that. Let's just keep going. Suits on.
All right, so you guys put your suits on. They have.
I'm going to pull up my stats.
So all of the suits have a fuel reserve.
Okay.
Calypso, how, aside from your suit, how often have these other suits been used?
Oh, crap.
That was the answer I was looking for. Thank you.
That was not an answer. I didn't get to say an answer. You asked me a specific question.
Okay.
And the answer is probably an average amount.
Okay. All right, an average amount.
An average amount.
I'll take that.
Not an crap.
This is an oh crap moment.
I'm pulling up where's my camera? I pulled up my spacecraft stats. Okay.
All right,
Here we go.
So I
Shipboard.
need you to roll a d20, and I need you to roll a d20.
4.
13. Is
Okay.
that good or bad?
So basically, Calypso, you have taken impeccable care of your suit because you are, after all, Captain Calypso Mars.
And I have to go outside and repair the ship sometimes.
That's true.
Lots of times.
You might have to, buff out a scratch on
There's
the side
there's
of
a
you.
part of Milan Station still kind of stuck, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta get that one later.
That's right. I'll be right back, guys. So, your suit has a complete, it is for maneuvering jets and everything, you have a full tank of fuel.
Okay.
Your suit was the one that was used by your previous first mate. You've got about 3/4
Okay.
of the fuel.
Okay.
Nigel and Alestra, you have enough that you should be okay to get there and back.
So she's the one who has the lowest?
No, she's 3/4 full.
Oh.
Nigel and Alestra both have. They're about 30%. It's fine.
Okay. You can stay. It is up to you.
Kind of like the idea of staying.
You know what? You know what? You know what? No. I'm gonna give her my suit.
You can give her your suit?
Yeah.
Are you staying here?
No, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna go. I'm more experienced than she is, therefore, wouldn't it make more sense for me to use the lower one?
All right.
Or couldn't you just siphon the two
Oh,
together?
couldn't we just siphon the two together?
You totally could siphon that.
Let's even Stevens this stuff.
All right, so you are now both at about
Gemma for the
65%.
Okay.
Nigel's like, I've still only got 30%.
Well, that's what I meant was the 230s, but
I can give you some of mine.
As long as it doesn't go under 50%. If she's at a quarter tank, she should only lose 25%.
75 plus 30 is 100.
105.
What is math?
105. So
So-
she'll be at 55. Nigel will be at 50.
Okay, that's okay. We're all then.
Okay. Sure, no problem.
And it was this day that Gemma's the only one who lived.
Next week on the Adventures of Gemma and Gregor.
And Alexa.
That's right.
Look, you know what? If Calypso dies, I'm not even mad about it. I'm just gonna go home and end my own life. It's fine.
Whoa!
Too far.
Whoa!
That escalated quickly. Note to self. Calypso lives forever.
My plan worked.
All right, so. Yeah, that totally threw me. We're going to spacewalks.
We are.
All right, so Gregor gets you right up to this. At first, you don't even know what he's flying to, because you can't really see it save for when you're tracking another ship and this ship passes kind of in front of it. It is, once you kind of stare at it, you can kind of see, not its outline, but you can kind of see its bulk and its mass in space. It is this, this pitch black object in space. And you can see where there's this rupture in the side, and Gregor's kind of getting the ship near that.
I don't like it.
All right, Cap. Got you near to one of them bug ships. The Scorbites, one of them insect
Scarab?
peoples. No, they're the Scorbites.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
You know that they are, basically everyone doesn't like them because they're a little unnerving to behold because they're sentient.
I've seen them before. I've seen it dance.
You did see
It
one
was
dance.
weird.
Okay.
Can they breathe
You
in space?
were high at the time.
Oh. I remember this night. I'm just gonna say it now. Calypso's ideas turn out wonderful on occasion.
On occasion, to Calypso's ideas.
May she make the worst tonight.
So, all right, I'm gonna keep an eye on sensors. I'll let you know if I see any. Hey,
Alright.
don't die.
Thanks, Gregor.
Aww, great.
I give
Like,
Gregor a hug.
awkward brief, really fast time. We're both like,
I imagine Jexa coming up to
Yep.
like
That's about
third rib or something.
that's about.
I feel like Illustrious just could be like,
I'm not giving you one. Don't trust priests. You're fine. You're one of the bloody-handed ones. We see eye to eye.
and yet I'm the one with all the
Literally.
healing supplies.
Well, he goes to point at some of this. Like he is very scarred. I heal fast. All right, so you guys are heading out.
Alright.
All right, so
Mistakes have always been made.
the stakes have never been in a vacuum. So what I need from all of you is I'm going to need a dexterity. You guys are going out into space.
I'm sitting at day and planned so much for tonight.
I totally did. I planned so much for tonight. I was not expecting a spacewalk. Excellent. Please give me a dexterity. We're going to do it as a piloting roll. Because it is... I'm not. You are literally piloting a suit into space.
Can I use my weird point to make this a favorable roll?
You may use your weird point to make this favorable. So,
You do have to get back.
in Fading Suns, the way this works is I will, when people need skill checks, I will ask for a characteristic plus skill roll. And they will add
might
their...
not make it out.
Hold on, let me give a brief explanation. They will add their skill plus their characteristic, and that's the number they're trying to hit or get under on a d20. So Fading Suns is a roll under check. If they make a roll favorable, whether for conditions or equipment or anything like that, they roll 2d20 and pick the better of the two. And if they have an unfavorable roll, they'll roll 2d20 and pick the higher of the two. So, go ahead and give me those. Are you up in
I might not make it out the door.
So, a
I'm
favorable
just...
roll, I roll 2 and pick the better.
Pick the better. Yes. It's not always the lower, because if you get a critical, which is rolling the exact number you need.
I can't just wait
I
to
don't think I
roll
got
with
the
your
whole thing.
Nope, that's not the way the game works.
Guess I didn't make it out the door.
Me neither.
I didn't either. I got a 19. Yeah.
All right, we
Yeah,
tried.
so
we
if
turn around
you
and go back.
Well, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
Because she has shipboard operations, she doesn't roll it unfavorable. If you don't have that feat, you roll it unfavorable to spacewalk.
Is shipboard operations for all spacewalking things,
Oh.
or
No.
what's the
Hold on.
what is
Well,
it?
it was a thing she.
Is a capability?
Okay,
yes.
let me read it.
Please do.
You are conversant in the rules and regulations of shipboard life, and you've trained basic spacecraft functions. This capability includes knowledge and practice for working while wearing a spacesuit, performing a physical action in space or zero-G while wearing a spacesuit without this capability makes the action unfavorable.
Oh, so yeah, you guys get to...
Well, they just failed anyway.
Yeah, but if you roll a 20, it's a critical
Right.
failure. So you rolled twice?
I did.
Okay.
I rolled a 17 and a 2.
All right, so here's what you see. Are you up front? Because Alexa is up there. Oh, I got to roll for Nigel, who does hit. Okay, Nigel, like a graceful swan.
Of course he does. It's the
All right, we have to go now.
It's
I
the
can't.
ruffled shirt.
So you see Nigel just kind of. He kind of waves, and you see like a wet Alexa waves back. Then what you see is 3 lawn darts fired from a cannon that just go, yeah, just like that. At one point, there is just a mass of 3 bodies that are tumbling through space, and they disappear into the hole in the side of the ship.
Hey, we made it!
So,
A
a failed roll in Fading Suns does not always equate to you don't get what you want. You just don't get what you want the way you want it. So, what I need each of you to do is to roll me a d20, and the highest roll will suffer the complication for this.
Well, it's gonna be me. I'm a 19.
I got a 1.
I mean, it's just
All right.
burn those dice.
I rolled 2 19s in a row. I'm really mad.
As you go tumbling in there, you see Gregor Nigel lands like little puffs of perfectly timed.
I hate Nigel so much.
He's Iron Man.
Yes.
Suit.
The rest of you, you two kind of hit bodies as you come tumbling in.
I don't like
They are freeze-dried ascorbites, these insectoid creatures. Their eyes kind of frosted over. When you poke at them, like when you hit them, they dusted. So like the tops of them are floating around, or the legs. But when you pass through them, they just kind of. Your lights automatically have come on. Your suit lights. Calypso, you hit the side, kind of hit the edge of the rim, and go spinning off down the hall.
Cool.
You see that Calypso is heading down the hall pretty quickly. I do need from you a dexterity plus vigor roll.
I hate everything. Another 19. Here we
Yep.
go. Wait.
I don't feel so good. I think I need to go back.
Was that a natural 20?
Can I just die?
No, apparent.
Okay, bye.
So, all right. So with a natural 20, I get a weird point. And
How did this happen to me?
all right,
Terrible idea.
all right, Calypso
I made
Mars.
a mistake.
All right, Calypso Mars.
You
You,
did.
your natural 20. Your comms are gone.
Can you start rolling for me, please?
Calypso went way down the hall. You cannot see her anymore,
Time out.
and her comms are down. You cannot talk to her. However,
back.
a small grouping of these insect people break your fall.
Oh, good. Are they dead?
Yeah, they're
Okay,
all
good.
dead.
They're freeze dried.
They're all dead, Dave. All of them.
I have tears in my eyes.
Just don't-
Nigel, can you go find Calypso?
I mean,
I think I'm gonna throw up,
right?
I'll stay with her.
We
but
want
I don't want to throw up in my suit.
we want to find Calypso, right?
Honey,
Yes.
You don't have an option right now.
All right, you guys, you see him flip a switch on his belt, and he locks onto the plates of the ship.
I find
Is
that
everything okay?
switch.
Yeah, I think
Mostly.
Jaxa's gonna throw up a bit, and Calypso's going like just going.
So things are going well.
I mean, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Good. Okay. Keep me posted.
You also saw. So you have this Gregor is pounding at this point on the panel because it shows the 4 suits and it shows like heart rates. Jex's seems pretty high, as does Alestra's. Nigel's just like boom boom. Just like a
Perfect
Cadillac.
sinus rhythm.
That's right. You see their fuel gauges. Those 3 use a lot of fuel kind of coming in. Calypso's is dead. Like there's no pulse, there's no comm signal, there's no readout on the fuel.
It was a bad night to drink an energy drink because now I am full of anxieties.
Calypso, when you kind of come to, there's this fine gray dust just kind of like floating around you. And you see 2 lights.
Okay, so I'm like...
Yeah. They look like they're, like if you're looking here, they're kind of bouncing like this, and you realize you're upside down.
Oh, okay. Can I reach out to stop it? And then I'm going to find where the ceiling is, and then find where the floor is, and I'm going to try to
orient yourself?
And then I'm going to...
Right, you okay?
I don't have comms. Didn't the complication be I had no comms?
Yeah, you're,
Who am I talking to?
Nigel.
I'm talking to myself. Oh, is Nigel in the room?
Yeah, Nigel came down the hall looking for you.
Oh.
That
Yeah.
was the lights.
Oh.
Yeah, she seems okay, but she's not transmitting anything.
Okay, can I see what my fuel gauge is? Or my
Yes.
fuel tank?
You guys both used about 15% of your available.
Okay.
Terrible idea.
So I just get to say numbers the rest of the night, and I watch people go,
Yeah, pretty much.
fantastic.
I assume
why
I don't
sit
have a
here.
gauge anymore, so it's like, screw it, I don't care anymore.
Your
wanna try
suit,
and
your lights work, your readouts work.
Oh,
Over here?
You have only lost 5% of your fuel, and as you look at it, it ticks up to 6. But you're not using it right
But once
now.
we hit 30,
so
we should go
my
back.
fuel came back?
No, you've used
Okay.
5%, and then it
Okay.
showed that you used another percent.
Oh, it's slowly leaking.
It's slowly leaking.
Yeah, that's
Is there
fine.
something that makes you
I
happy
100% already knew that was what was going to happen before I even got into the
about
suit.
technology? What's your favorite hologram?
And I just
Right, are
didn't
you
think
guys
it.
going to just stand there and just
Alright.
talk?
No,
or are we
we're
going to
gonna
find
look for
this
black
technology?
We're looking for black boxes.
Okay,
I'm keeping looking for enough.
Boxes.
So- my suit.
Great, let's find it.
I'm in my suit. Yeah, I am in my suit.
You are
You're not in your suit.
Do we have
You
any
have some problems.
sort of scanning here that we could...
No.
Well, I was about to say, in my suit, I have recovery things.
Yeah, you got your toolkits.
Okay, so can
I
I
do.
see my readout that shows
yeah, no,
where
never mind.
the leak is coming from?
Yeah, there's a couple of microscopic fractures in the tank.
Okay. But it doesn't tell me specifically where. Like, there's
No,
no
it's
high,
just
low.
yeah. It tells you that there are fractures and there are leaks. It doesn't tell you really where they're at.
Okay. I'm going to, for science, allow it to continue happening for a little bit so I can figure out what makes it do this.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm not telling anybody
We
about it.
are going to
You can't because no one can hear you. It's in space.
All right.
walk down onto the floor and then
Clunk, clunk.
well, I want to walk a little bit and see what kind of technology is there, what's around.
All right. For those of you
Oh,
who
wow,
are
that's
looking,
my life.
this is going to be a perception plus tech redemption roll. Shall we go to? I think these things have bridges.
Yeah, we need to go to the bridge,
All right.
which is generally oriented. So
One over.
when we were going towards the ship,
Mm-hmm.
I want to feel like the front of the ship was this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that means, okay.
You're gonna try and figure out like just your knowledge of shipcraft. Where if you were to build a ship like this, where
Yeah.
would you put the bridge? All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
That will be a wits plus. I'll give you a wits plus pilot roll. So
Roll for me.
you kind of see when
So 8 plus 6. I hate everything.
No.
You did a 14, she got a 17.
It wasn't a 20.
It was not a 20. That's all that matters to me
All right.
now.
So
It's too foreign for me to know.
as soon as Nigel says that Calypso is alive, but her comms are just down, you kind of see like Gregor was like gripping the control pad, and then I knew she was fine. She's cat.
Put a hand on her shoulder, reassuring her.
Yeah, because you two are the tallest two people like on the ship. They're the ones who are constantly. All right, I'm just kidding. So we just wait.
Yeah. Calypso is not having a
I know a prayer.
Can I keep an eye on the ships as they rotate around and see if she's gonna try? She's not that smart, but see if the damage seems to all be facing the interior, as if it's coming from the gate, or if it's from the exterior.
That's very interesting. All right,
Or randomized.
go ahead and give me a perception plus observe roll.
So 8. That's a 2. I succeed.
All right, and you get, so when you succeed on a roll in Fading Suns, you get a number of victory points equal to your roll. So in this case, Gemma got 2 victory points for her roll. It's an easy task to determine what you're looking at, so you can just spend the 2 points that you get. It does seem random. In fact, none of it seems to have come specifically from the gate, if that makes sense. It definitely seems like as you're watching it, you can pick out, well, okay, those ships sort of belong together. Those ships sort of belong together. These ones are even older, and those ones are newer, and like intermixed between. There's a couple of ships that look like the Oh Boii, kind of scattered through in there. But you can start to pick out. Well, clearly, those ones fired on this group, and then at some other time, this fight broke out, and then later something else happened.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like anything came from the gate, but what you do pick up is that, I mean, you're part of the militant arm of the church. You are trained for you're trained for boarding actions, you're trained for all sorts of things like that. There's no evidence that there were boarding actions. There's also no evidence that any of these ships tried to escape. They
shot
battled.
each other
They
until the bitter end.
battled until the bitter end, until the hull or the guns gave out.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
Oh boy. Yep.
you and Nigel spend probably like a half hour looking through the ship before you finally make it to what you think might be the bridge. Where the bridge of the Oh Boii is laid out in sort of classic sci-fi fashion, with the consoles and the pilot seat, the co-pilot seat.
It's very important. Pilot seat.
That's right. Third pilot seat. Then the observer, the backseat driver, that kind of thing. You walk into this thing, and there are just a number of concave discs set into the floor. There's a main one in the center. There are 6.5 arc around one side of the circle. And then there are a couple of other ones scattered, but you're guessing this is the nerve center of the ship because it has the large view screen across the front, but the view screen kind of extends all the way back. You did not see any sort of like glass dome on the outside of the ship, but you can see clearly like you're looking right out into space.
Okay. Are they with us? Or
They have gone off on their own. So you can talk to Nigel. Well, you can try and communicate with Nigel, and he can communicate with them.
Okay.
Did either of you make your rolls?
We didn't, and so I got a 15 out of 13.
Got a 10 out of 9.
Oh, that's
So-
rough.
Jexa got really disappointed really fast with not finding anything, and so kind of just shuffles back to where we came in and is waiting.
Can I page over?
Sure. At any time.
Hey, we might
The only
want to
person
get
who
out
can't
of
respond.
here before another ship shows up. It looks like they fired on each other until they couldn't fire on each other anymore. So we might not want to be here when another ship shows up. How's it
So we should
going?
head back.
I guess.
Because he can't hear me.
Both of you give me a perception roll. Perception plus observe, please. I will come back to you in a second. Right.
Yes! 6.
I got 6 victory points.
Right. Right. Ew. Right. Right. I think Calypso wants you to come find us. We found, I think, the bridge.
Where are you? I mean, which?
We are in the bridge.
Left, right, up, down.
Would we be able to like transmit signals to each
Yeah,
other?
you can totally find signals.
Okay, can we
Probably-
track?
Yeah.
Okay.
How's our fuel doing?
At this point, you haven't been using any of the fuel. You've been
Right.
walking around. What did you guys get on your rolls?
What did you get?
I got a 6.
What did you get?
That's a 20.
You got a 20?
I got a 20.
You and I are doing so good tonight. I'm so glad at least we're suffering together.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Nope.
While we wait for them, I'm going to start using all of my tape and just start wrapping it around my tank in a very strategic,
Okay.
delicate
Like a move. At this
Delicate
point,
movement.
after about 30 minutes, you've used about another 25% of
Yeah.
your fuel. So you're kind of.
Yeah.
But when you do that, you kind of see it, and it seems to stabilize.
Okay.
All right. So you got a 20, and how many points are you spending on this observation roll?
What is this? What is
Is this a blind one?
It's a blind one. Yes.
It's
So many weird points.
Oh,
Spend 3.
I thought you were saying. Daddy two
No,
groups here.
JM.
You can see that there definitely looks to be like some of these bodies look like they attacked each other.
As we go by, can I just like keep touching him and making him poof to...
You may.
I definitely do that.
My plan was to go back, but then Calypso called, so.
So, as you are kind of moving past things,
Yes,
Um,
howdy. I mean, I'm
sure.
an adult. I'm not an adult.
there-
I'm an adult.
Anyway, anything else has survived?
Well, let me
Okay.
finish with her. You're heading. Are you heading right to the bridge at this
Yeah.
point? Okay. So
I'm
as
not
you
letting her detour.
as you kind of walk past
I don't like it.
one of these groupings of bodies, you reach out and you dust it, and it was kind of a body that was kind of curled up like this, and when you dust it, it triggers the weapon it was holding, and it fires at you.
Dang it!
What type of boy!
What weapon was it?
I mean, it's only second era year generation.
That's the highest technology.
Oh.
Second,
I mean, I
Republic.
can handle
It's the highest
artifact guns if
technology.
it's an
Oh,
artifact
good.
gun.
It is not an artifact guy.
Oh,
Um,
good.
So,
This is great.
Jexa,
Mm-hmm.
would you like to spend victory? Would you like to surge and
I
spend?
would love to surge.
Do we have any vaulted from last time?
No, because we level up and we don't get to keep any because it was the end of the scene or whatever, or not scene.
You can
but-
vault.
Well, yes.
Okay.
There
Well,
was
you
just
said
no
it
time.
ended. Not the scene, but
the adventure.
the adventure, and so we don't carry any over to the next adventure. I will definitely surge and take my 9.
All right. Would you like to
Yes.
increase the difficulty?
Yes.
All right. How many points are you spending to increase the difficulty of this attack? Actually, I'm going to need are you surging? Because when this thing goes off, it is an area of effect.
Probably.
Well, I could have used all of those.
I
those. I'm so mad at them.
am going to spend 6
All right.
to increase the difficulty.
What does it bring your difficulty to?
10. Or my body resistance? 10.
What about you, Alestra?
I'm curious. My body resistance just comes from like armor and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I have both, I have a studded leather jerkin and a synth silk cape.
The cape adds to the body resistance of the armor.
Okay, so then that's 6. Yeah, I'll spend 6 to make
10?
it 12.
10 and 12. All right, the thing shorts out as soon as it does this, but you recognize what you would call in the Engineers Guild a womp gun.
Take it.
What is it?
Totally gonna take it.
It's an area. It shorts out.
Mm-hmm.
It's an area of effect shock weapon.
Okay.
It's a stunner essentially.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Had you not raised your body resistance as high as you guys did, you would be unconscious at this point.
Right. It did short out.
It did
is
short out.
No longer functional. I will take it, kind of sling it over my back, and like with the idea that I'm gonna
Try and fix that.
fix it. Now I also have the perk Ingenious, and what that allows me to do is take 3 of my VP and turn it into a weird point.
Okay.
Which I will do in case I need a favorable roll
All right.
here in the near future. I feel
I don't know why you would feel that.
that, so I'm gonna give myself a weird point,
All right.
like recognizing it and understanding what it is.
So you hear this wow noise that kind of comes over, and everything kind of like all of their vitals flicker for a second, and then like just Jex's and Alestra's, and then kind of stabilize.
We're okay.
Everything's fine.
Don't worry.
That was not an everything's fine noise.
Yeah,
We're
I
talking
know.
to you. We're fine.
Jackson, I
Don't
know her,
worry.
Gemma. I know what I'm doing.
He mutes it. I don't think she knows what she's doing.
No, I don't think she realizes I've heard the conversation.
Oh yeah. Oh no, Jackson has no idea.
I didn't want to say this, but when I said sometimes, it's usually because like the Enter throw the apprentices into the simulator to make them think they're spacewalking. Yeah, they need to come back. I'm praying for you.
Thanks, Alexa.
That is
All right.
deeply appreciated.
So on the bridge, Nigel's like, he's got his foot over one of those concave discs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh golly.
Military one.
Yeah.
Hold.
Yeah, Nigel was never in the military. He's like, you can see each other through the faceplates, by the way. That's why every time you've mouthed it, he's been like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Right. So he's going to go start poking around. You see he kind of pulls out a little multi-tool from his
That's fair.
belt, and it kind of turns into like a liquid that turns into a small pry bar.
I feel like that's a bad idea too.
I feel like the wait for Jexa did not go word.
You guys do arrive there. You see Nigel is like really trying to lever down one of these side
Okay.
panels.
Nigel, what are you doing?
We're here for technology.
Is that
Sure,
that looks like a wall.
There's a panel.
Can I see if I know any of this technology and
Can I use a weird point to assist her? Can we assist with weird points, or are they only your own?
Weird points allow for twists of fate and probability in your favor. I think you're allowed to spend, like, I'm going to say you're allowed to spend them on it, because it just makes a roll favorable.
Okay.
So,
okay?
Learning things.
So growing up, being the much younger apprentice for most of my apprenticeship, doing it twice as long as anybody, not because I needed the time, but because I was so young when I went in. Spent a lot of time by myself, a lot of time just reading books, a lot of technology books, especially to talk to the AI in my brain. And so I would like to see if there's anything in this room that either AI recognize from any of my reading, or that I see the little black box.
all right, so I'm going to need a perception, and we're going to say it's an observe check. Do you have any capabilities with alien technology?
What do I have? I just have Think Machines Tech Lore.
Tech lore?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. You could.
Because my tech level is level 7.
I feel like you could play with that one.
Let me see here. Tech lores.
I am tech savvy for cyber devices.
Hey.
All right, give me the roll.
For observation.
Mm-hmm.
Perception and observation.
And then plus my weird point.
Alright,
Mhm.
okay, so I'll take your weird point.
Yeah.
So it's favorable. 7.
Yes.
All right, how many points are you spending on it?
We'll do 6.
Okay.
6, like 2 is easy. I mean, generally.
Generally, 2 is easy, 4 is hard, 6 is demanding, 8 is tough.
Okay, so I'll do 6.
Okay. You definitely know that these are biocontrol pods.
Okay.
The escortobites, they step into those concave discs, and you're not really sure how it works, but they're enclosed in a protective
Okay.
and interactive sac.
Okay. Nigel, don't step into the disc.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
I
I'm
was-
so glad I
wasn't-
stopped him.
Right, I wasn't going to do that.
Good. Alestra, don't step in the disc.
He glanced at, he glanced.
Don't step in the disc.
As for the black box, you would have to act. There's no like physical black box that you would know of, but you do know that if you were to access the systems, you could download what happened.
I would like to do that.
You would have to step into one of the discs, or someone would.
Okay. I'm going to step into the disc.
Wait, you just said no to step into the disc.
Right.
She's more qualified.
But I...
What was that?
I know technology, and I might be able to circumvent it and get out again.
You can hear all.
I know.
of it. Okay, good.
Wait, what are you doing?
She's gonna try and access the ship's log.
Do we know if the ship's components are still working? So if you get in, you can get back out?
Nope.
Well, I feel like she would have. Oh wait, I don't know. Would she have learned that from the previous thing that she just did because she was observing? Like
It
wasn't
looks
just-
like there might be. I mean, there is some power left in the ship.
Okay. Yeah, I can get out. I'm so glad I don't actually see Gemma's face. Can lime and cheese here that way?
look, man, I'm armed to the teeth. I can cut her out. Said more bad ideas.
Okay.
While she's about to do that. Is there any sort of medical anything in here?
No, not in the bridge. Plus, it's for a completely different species.
Still interesting.
So,
That's fair.
Gemma, to access the black box that Calypso wants us to get, I would have to step into a protective
I can't hear any of this.
Sack?
No, you can't.
Cool.
and
Just
download
hear
the
about
information and then
You
leave
hear,
it.
You hear Nigel snigger.
I think this is a terrible idea.
The difficulty is I don't have the same biology as the things that stepped into it.
Right.
So I'm not entirely sure I could get out. Do you think I should do this?
No. Look,
Gregor? What do you think?
He looks to you. Yeah, no, I don't think it's a great idea.
Alexa?
Why are you asking all of us? We're all going to tell you the exact same thing.
Nigel?
Right, one of us got to step into it. And you said you got something in your head that lets you do it, so.
Alestra?
I think it's a terrible idea.
I'm telling you, the longer we're here, something
Okay.
bad is going to happen. And you don't have the anatomy.
Okay.
I think we should go back.
Calypso?
What's
Captain?
your fuel at?
It's fine.
I can't get the black box.
I'm mad at you.
Why are you mad at me?
Oh, sir, we'll just put them on a ship that has alien technology. It's fine.
Should we mad at Gregor?
You as a general. There are like 5 bodies
It's an
in
entire
that
oeuvre.
There's a plethora of
All right,
somebody.
If
What-
I
no.
step in, I might not get out.
What? But
Nigel?
can you get someone else out?
I don't know. No, we need you to be captain.
Nigel has stepped behind Alestra.
She's just gonna like swing around and smack him.
Okay,
If I step in and it covers me, can you get me out? I don't want to do this, but I also really want to do this.
I know.
I know. Okay.
I know every single ship lore that there is.
okay.
I think I should be able to figure it out.
If she gets hurt, I can try and take care of her. That's
What is
all
your
I can say.
interface skill? Interface is your ability to access technology.
Oh, that's a 0.
Yeah. So the person who needs to get you out needs to have
A bigger interface.
needs to have an interface.
So does the person who needs to go in need to have an interface?
Put Nigel in. He's expendable.
Hey, you're new here.
I'm the healer.
No. My girl can heal just as well as you can. Isn't that right, Alexa? I mean, I don't know if just as well, but we're both Sanctuary Aeon members. Yeah.
But she's not here at this moment. I'm the healer.
True.
Okay, so
I have a...
if someone who's
gun.
not tech savvy goes in and they can't access it, but you need someone tech savvy on the outside to get them out, how is that gonna work?
It's not. We just need to come back to the ship.
Sorry. We've come this whole way and I'm not giving
Okay,
up.
I can't hear.
Okay. This is terrible and awful and everything
we're
in my
gonna
being.
murder
I'm
someone.
having a great time.
But I'm also
I am.
16.
Oh my god, we're gonna murder Nigel.
Yes.
They're gonna put him in.
No more ruffly
No.
shirts.
Do you want to?
I'll do it.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna miss you.
Gemma?
You stepping in?
Yep.
All right. Which one are you stepping into?
I don't know what. Tell
Gemma,
me which
prepare
one.
for something
There's
bad.
the big one, and then there's the 6 in the little hemisphere.
Probably the big one.
Okay.
All right. So you guys see Calypso, you step in, and immediately
The bio thingy.
the disc starts to, you notice that in the lip of this concave thing, there's actually something that starts to rotate, and it lights up green. And it spins faster for about a second. It's just like everything seems to slow down for you. The rest of you see it, and this bubble just kind of appears around you. It is this, and you guys see, it's almost instantaneous, and this liquid kind of, you're floating in it. You don't seem to access anything, though.
Okay. I wait. When I don't see anything happening, I get her out. I want to end this
Okay.
somehow, some way.
You can kind of hear clicking noises, just as if coming to you at a great,
Do you have
like a
recording
muffled
device?
distance.
Do I have a what?
Recording device.
Do I have a recording device? I would assume so, but I don't.
All right, give me your accent. Give me your wits plus interface.
Wits plus
So,
interface.
just out of curiosity,
Sure.
I start thinking about roughly their timeline that this all took place.
Yeah.
And like basically what I start trying to think about is accessing the specific day that the last, like I start thinking about the last log and see if that does anything.
Okay.
If you want me to roll or not, I'm gonna lose.
At this point, you can kind of start to see like images starting to form, but again, they're kind of blurry, as if they're not quite fully resolving.
Okay.
Alright, so you see me start to
Give
move.
me just, you see her moving to the base. Go ahead, and I mean, Calypso's a pretty intuitive person. Give me an intuition. Just give me a straight intuition roll.
That means I have to get under a 4, right?
It would mean you have to get under a 4.
Oh, I'm gonna fail, so it's fine. I got a fucking 2.
You get two. You
None
have
of-
2 victory points.
I'm going to give you a weird point for that. That was amazing. None of the Escorbites are wearing spacesuits.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the helmet.
You guys see her reach? You take the helmet
Yep.
off? All right, immediately you feel liquid kind of
Yep.
flow up your nose, down to your
everywhere.
mouth, and immediately the clicking kind of, you hear it in your head, like
Okay.
not just in your ears, you hear it in your mind,
Okay.
and the data just start, like the logs just start pouring directly into your brain.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. And then I specifically try to focus on just the last log.
The last log, it starts to resolve into English. You can go ahead and give me your roll.
I'm gonna put a hand on her shoulder because I don't see her struggling.
You do see,
Yeah.
I'm probably-
like
Just
anyone
the
who
same
would
way.
have
Liquid.
the drowning reflex
Yeah.
starts for a bit.
Yeah.
can go
I'm
ahead.
also spending my weird point in order to make this favorable
Okay.
because I want to get you out.
Yeah.
So, you let me know when you want to pull the plug.
Okay.
How long can a human survive without oxygen? 2 minutes?
You start breathing it in.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
hyper. It takes that. You guys see the bubbles kind of bloop 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 out of
Mhm.
Calypso's.
Come on, put your helmet.
She's
back
not-
on, put your helmet.
You are.
Can I not see them? Can
you
they not
can't
see me?
They can see you. You cannot see them because you
Oh,
are
right.
seeing the images on the
Everything else.
outside of the bubble.
Okay.
The log is from 900 years ago, give or take a decade. You are not familiar with the Scorbite dating rituals or
Hey.
hey. However, what you do see is that this ship came here. They were trailing human ships that look to be very raider-like, much like your ship. Fast, lethal, designed to kind of punch holes through ships and get away with their cargo. And the first shot was from its escort ship. Within 7 minutes of jumping
From the
Scarbites, yeah, they were a group of 3 ships sent out to hunt down some human pirates. And within 7 minutes of jumping in system, the ships started firing on each other. And you can see that even the pirate ships, like one very clearly turns and runs broadside into the other.
Okay. I try to access the first log of this ship if I have time. I know they're simultaneously, so we'll see if they interrupt each other. But.
Okay. When are you? How long are you waiting after the bubbles come out of Calypso's mouth?
Not long after.
All right.
Like, I rolled an 8.
Okay. I will give you the start of this, and then we'll say that it's just kind of.
And then I want to leap for her and get her helmet back on.
Yes, because she can breathe inside the bubble. There is no air in the ship.
Yes.
Good thinking.
Thank you.
Smart.
All right.
I have
The
8
very
wits.
first log is from your guess about 1,200 years prior. Again, you don't know the exact date. You get these kind of impressions from the data. And the very first log was of the commissioning of the ship. Right? It's sent out from the Scorbite planet that you don't recognize. And Calypso, you know a lot about space and jump routes and that sort of thing. It is definitely a planet that looks to be almost entirely covered with cities. As in, from space, you just see the lights of cities everywhere, save for the polar regions of the planet. And that's when, like, all of a sudden, in the...
Okay, so I just, like, fall.
I leap forward and push the button to get her helmet back on.
All right, give me a Dex plus. We're making a Dex plus fight roll to see how quickly you get it on. You will get the helmet on. It's just a matter of how quickly.
4.
All right. She locks it down, and you cough up the last little bit. So there's this green fluid on the inside of your.
I can't hear. I can't
helmet.
see. I can't
That's fair.
talk. It's fine.
And that's where we will take our break, and we will come back in about 10 minutes, and we will continue with what's going on.
I lived.
All right, and we're back. So you are in the bridge of this alien ship. You have just got Calypso's helmet on. There is no way, you cannot see her because she kind of expelled the last of the liquid from her lungs, and so you cannot now see outside of you are in a sensory deprivation suit.
I'm into it, man.
I have her arm or her hand.
Somebody's grabbing
I'm
your
just
hand.
gonna go like this. just.
I'm gonna give your arm a little squeeze.
Right, is she dead? Can I have the
No,
ship?
she's okay.
Oh, I mean, right, it's her ship. I didn't ask that
Should get
question.
back to the ship.
Gregor, I didn't
Yes, we're gonna
So
we're
I'm
gonna.
like take one of your arms, lean over my shoulder, and let's start going.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Gemma, we're on
For
our way
sure.
back.
Copy that.
Right. So are we going deeper into this thing now?
Yeah, jump game.
I don't like that either.
Well, it's either we don't go through, or we sit here and wait for another ship to show up, and they possibly start shooting at us.
Yeah, I don't like that idea.
And Virgil said he can get us through the gate.
I can indeed.
How close do you have to be before you can open the gate?
That is an interesting question. I do not know. I assume that my standard arrays would be able to transmit the signal within 1,000 meters.
Do you need to be outside the ship?
I do not.
Okay. Do we need to do anything to prepare?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Either the gate will open for you, or it will not. It is in the hands of the Creator. All right, so you guys get back to the ship. I'm going to need one more of those rolls to try and gracefully get back to the
Which
ship.
one is it?
It is a dexterity plus pilot, and it is unfavorable.
Oh!
Can I spend
I'm
VP
good.
points on it?
I just
You can increase the goal roll 1 for 1.
Okay, great. I'm spending 5 VP.
All right, what does that take your target number to?
11.
Okay, you got to roll twice and pick the worst of the two.
19.
14.
I'm good this
And
time.
I rolled
I'm
an
just
11
yeah.
as well.
I'm flying blind, but I'm marvelous doing it.
That's right. Nigel is not, however, this time. He kind of comes in a little too low, and he catches like the back of his head on the ramp of the ship and goes tumbling in.
Yeah,
I'm
Where's
totally
Calypso?
laughing at him.
Calypso just kind of like, you're laughing at him right up until you realize that you are on the exact same trajectory.
I did it once before. It's fine.
The two of you go tumbling into, none of you got a critical failure. The two of you go tumbling
Laying,
into.
just laughing.
Yeah, you see, you're looking down from like the camera on the bridge, and you just see like a pile of bodies, and then Calypso kind of alights down
You're welcome.
and presses the button. She's not looking. Like you can see like little smudges where like she's pushed her nose up to the glass and like got the green slime to move, and she
Closes her windshield wiper.
it closes the.
Now that they're on board, I'm just going to take a brief moment, say a word of thanks, kind of meditate for what we're about to do, because I know that we have some individuals of some degree of faith. I also know we have some individuals who have never set foot in that arena. And today has not been going well. So
I don't know what you're talking
What are you
about.
talking about? I got exactly what I went for.
Gemma's anxiety is here,
Yeah,
and she's trained for battle. The anxiety is here. So she's just gonna take a minute.
We got info in a cool thing, man.
Check.
Take
So
a
you
minute.
can hear kind of muffled through the sides of the suit. Everything's really tinny, but you hear, Captain, you want to pilot this thing into the gate?
What?
Oh, good. Good to hear your voice, Captain. You want to be the one to pilot it into the gate.
Yep, let's do it.
All right.
I have the daredevil feat.
I try not to throw up again.
Yeah, your stomach is kind of.
Uh-huh.
All right, trying to not throw up. You are successful.
Okay.
And
I was like, shoot, I have to roll for that.
no. And you, a couple of minutes later, you are all on the bridge again. Calypso in the driver's seat.
Yep.
Gregor in the co-pilot seat. Engineering seat.
Yes, and definitely
Just buckled in.
already fiddling.
Already playing with the, what was the gun called again? A warp gun?
Whomper.
Womp.
Do I recognize this?
What?
Do I recognize this?
What capabilities do you have for weapons? Do you have military weapons?
Dump
Energy
pilot
weapons,
ready to go.
slug weapons,
Yes.
military weapons.
It's a womp gun. It's not of a design that you are familiar with, but basically it projects a stunning effect to a large.
Just gonna
Nope.
reach over and
Nope.
click the safety on.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely powered off.
Yeah, I'm just gonna click the safety on
Click.
anyway.
Okay. I'm gonna be messing with
You think she clicked the safety? It isn't a scorpion gun.
I'm gonna be messing with this. It's gonna go in my bunk. I'm gonna put it there now.
She's gonna sleep with it, like spoon with it at night, be like, yes, I
Dear
earned
Pan
you.
Creator, please give me a natural 20 on Jackson's
Go and I slide it
tech
underneath my
redemption
bunk.
roll.
Terrible.
You just hear this whomp from her bunk.
Yep, that was the womp.
So,
Oh, that's why you throw up.
Well, there it is.
I get it now. I understand it.
It's okay. We only heard one womp.
There's your weird point. We will not speak of that again. So, you start piloting through the graveyard.
do.
Give me the roll.
With my stunt pilot, so it's favorable.
All right. What's your pilot plus dex?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Nice. All right.
Alright. 3.
All right. You manage. You start.
Do I get 3 VP?
You do get 3 VP. It is a pretty easy roll as you start heading towards the gate. It starts getting more difficult as you start to lose track of the gate, as Calypso has to weave. She flies through some holes. Every so often there's a couple of laser blasts from Gregor to take out little bits of debris in the way. But every time it comes into view, the gate is larger. And after a couple of minutes of this, you start to see what those gargoyles are. Each gargoyle is a chimera. There's a lion, a wolf, and a leopard's head.
So we don't really go over this or bring it up much, but we all have a patron saint.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mine is the patron saint of essentially Earth technology. Earth. U-R-T-H.
Earth. Yeah.
Earth technology. Would there be anything in his readings about something like this?
Go ahead and give me. Give me a faith. I'm going to say give me a faith plus academia roll.
Okay.
If any of you are trying to lean on the same sort of trope, give me a faith plus academia roll.
So close.
Lean on the same sort of what?
If you're trying to see what you would remember, if your patron saint would have had anything, if you're trying to remember anything about these, like, sort of gargoyles.
So unfortunately, it looks like I don't have a patron saint, and I wonder if that was because I just didn't do it, or...
What is your, it's your calling, so you're a
Oh,
pirate.
I'm compassionate.
No, you're calling.
No, my...
Is a pirate, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Oh, wow, I just took everything off.
Let me get you your patron saint while we look. Did you make it?
I was so close.
You were so close.
9 out of 7.
I did not
So
make
close.
it.
I should have spent VP.
So your choice is, I think you followed Saint Christoph, if I remember correctly.
Oh, did I?
There are 2 choices for you for patron saints. It goes with pirate. It's on page 99 of the book. If that
Okay,
helps.
I've got that in mind.
You definitely remember something, Gemma. Something in particular from the Omega Gospels, from the Book of Lamentations. Wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them, and the wolf of the evening shall spoil them. A leopard shall watch over their cities. Every one of them that goes out hence shall be torn to pieces, because their transgressions are many, and their backslidings are increased. You know, in the Gospels, the Omega Gospels, that lions tend to represent pride, wolves, avarice, and leopard's lust.
So, for people who don't know fancy words like avarice...
Greed.
Okay.
So you're flying straight at the gate now.
Cool.
You can see that some of the ships are starting to...
No.
There are lights starting to light up.
No.
And the eyes of the gargoyles are starting to light up as you approach.
Virgil?
Sending the code now. And the gate just explodes into light.
Oh. I thought the sentence was gonna just end. And I was like,
Did you
oh!
all die? Tune in next week for our next game.
That has happened.
No, and Verge, as you start to head through, Virgil says, Sheol Gate is now open.
Shield gate?
Sheol.
Sheol.
Okay. I guess we going through.
All right. The transition is not as instantaneous as you are used to. So what I need from everybody,
Oh, good.
My favorite.
not from Gemma, and not from Jexa,
Okay, good.
and not from Alexa, but definitely from Gregor and Nigel, and definitely for Calypso, and just regular definitely for Alestra. I need you guys to give me
Because you're not actually holy, I think.
a faith,
A lot of teaching.
but
Anyway, faith in.
what is being tested is not knowledge. You can know a lot about virtue and not have any. Specifically what we're looking
Dagger to the heart.
I'm sorry, but I stand by my decision.
All right, Judge.
Faith plus
Yeah, okay,
faith
Dad.
plus focus.
Faith
That's what I was
plus focus.
Well,
Yes.
I'm good.
Uh-oh.
Needed an
Made
8,
it.
got a 6.
Nice.
So do I add 6 VP?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yes,
Is
but
that
you
what
now
you
need to
needed?
spend to overcome.
Add 6. So you'll be at
What are we
11.
trying to overcome? Just this weird transition?
You hear the snarling. You hear the snarling of a leopard and a wolf, and actually also a lion, as if they are right on your heels.
What do I hear?
Attempt-
I am so very called out, and honestly, I'm not mad about it. This is accurate.
Quick question. What did you...
Listen, from how you have played Calypso, I am just...
No, that's why I'm not mad about it. Like
No.
this, yeah.
What
this
did
is
you
accurate.
need to roll?
I needed an 8.
Oh, okay.
I got a 6. It wasn't crit.
Alestra, you definitely hear the lion coming after you.
That's fair.
Pride.
I'll spend.
How many are you spending? Yep, that's what we need to know. And what are your...
6.
Before you decide that, you might... what are your spirit resistances? 0? Okay, so you're going to 6.
I think I get a...
Those are all gonna
So I have the
get some
independent
stoics.
perk.
Okay, what does that do for you?
The VP, you spend VP to increase mind or spirit, but you draw this VP from the well instead of from your own bank up to a limit of 5 plus your level.
So you can just draw
7.
7 and increase it by 7, plus
Yeah.
whatever you want to spend from your pool.
That's handy.
I'll do 8. Just for
So total of 8?
so total of 8, so I'm only using one of my own VP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. You guys see bite marks and claw marks appear on them.
What?
You take 4 points
Damage?
of damage, 4 points of vitality. You take 2, you get a little nip on the back of your neck.
Have we fully healed since the
Yes,
last?
you were
okay.
totally healed. Sadly,
Oh no.
you see Nigel. You just see slashes start to appear over his body, and Nigel takes 10 points of damage.
It's okay, I can heal that.
So can Alexa.
He screams, and you
Yeah.
briefly see phantom creatures ripping chunks out of his flesh, and the bites. You see the bite come off of Nigel. The creature toss up in the air and snap at it, and it disappears as soon as it swallows it. And then you come out of the jump gate, and before you is a massive planet.
Ooh, what does it look like?
Does it look like there's a bunch of cities on it?
It does not. There is a gray and lifeless world beneath you. Gregor is His fingers are flying over the keyboard as Alexa is trying to help me, because he's coughing up blood. Nigel is just he's gone into spasms.
Okay. I mean, I run over there to like hold him down, but I don't have any medical
I
knowledge.
can try and help. I don't have a ton of medical knowledge, but
Do you want to give me? All right, so
I got it.
we're new. You give me your remedy roll.
Okay, it's remedy and
Wits.
I give him something to bite. I'm like, yeah.
wait.
Massive forearm.
I got that too. I got a morphine shot for him.
Okay, we'll come back to you in a second. So I know what you're doing. You and Alexa and
All of it.
Jexa are trying to hold
Is
on.
Gregor hurt?
No.
Okay. Did we notice Calypso's?
Calypso, do you have long hair or short hair?
Where my neck is long.
Okay. You don't.
Okay.
Yeah. You see that Gregor has a couple of scratches?
Okay, and so does she.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Me, it's just a flesh wound.
All right.
Gregor's like, you see him kind of like wipe a bit of Nigel off of the console.
Ew.
Captain, this is really, really weird.
Why?
There's a beacon down there, and if this is right, it's transmitting its 1,142,654,560-second cycle, which is 2,100 years old, almost 2,200 years old. It's transmitting the beacon every minute.
What's it saying?
It's just a beacon. It's just a...
Where's Virgil?
Virgil is just...
Floating.
Okay, he's still here.
He has no wounds.
Of course he doesn't.
Oh. No, just don't mind me. I'm just rolling dice back here.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Virgil, do you know what this is?
I would assume he's a planet.
What planet?
I do not know. As I said, I am merely the person who opens the gates.
Is Beatrice down there?
I would assume this is one of her stops.
Okay, well, can I take
Well-
care of Nigel now?
Oh, Captain.
Yeah. I figure with you and Alexa helping Nigel, I kind of step out, and now I'm peering between.
He just kind of calls you over to the screen. Go ahead and give me your roll.
Oh, I'm totally.
You said it. Sorry, it was
I
Wits
just like
plus
put my hand all around you. I'm like,
empathy.
you can just,
empathy.
you don't have to do that.
Or sorry,
you can just
remedy.
watch. You're part of the ship, part of the crew.
yes.
That was a 9 out of an 11.
Okay.
I have all sorts of stuff. I have elixirs, med packs, morphine,
All right, so
all of it.
you can give him an elixir. That's going to be the easiest thing
Okay.
to do. It allows him to use a recovery.
Okay.
And mark off one of your morphine shots.
Okay.
And basically he flumps back down. And Alexa's like, we have to get him to bed.
Not that kind of bad.
There are no ruffled shirts associated with this bed.
Why is a ruffled shirt associated with the bed?
Because you
just
throw your dirty laundry on the bed because you don't want it
with-
on the floor.
Nigel,
Yes.
the morphine, it lasts
Not while you're
30
sleeping.
minutes,
Okay.
and it's -1 to perception and -1 to strength. He's
what I
dazed,
do.
desensitized, withdrawn.
Okay.
And I,
Perfect.
no, I'm
Thank
sleeping
you.
and I throw everything on the floor.
He,
Okay, so we're right
Yeah.
next to him.
you see he's like just, and he pans one of the exterior cameras behind you.
Oh no.
There is no gate.
Oh no.
Virgil never said anything about back. Just said I can open the gate forward.
Dang it.
Why were none of us smart in the way he spoke?
I don't know.
Because if Beatrice can get back and forth, why can't we?
She has faith. We should follow her
Don't she
faith.
have faith?
Yeah.
You're carrying Nigel to the med bay.
Oh, right. You're not there. Sorry. I'm about to question your
yes.
faith, but you're not
Abby's there watching.
Abby is there watching.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, since there's no backwards, there's only forward.
What do we do?
I assume we go to the planet.
Go to the beacon? If that's where
We
Beatrice
go to the
is.
beacon.
Kind of looked.
Gregor, the worst thing that can happen is that we die. So, like,
Right.
if you think about it,
I've been trying to avoid that my whole life.
yeah, but
You're doing a great job. And I pat him.
and you've gone this far without dying. So, like, you know, what's a little bit more? Have I died yet? Because let's be real, if I haven't died yet, you're fine. If I die is when you have a problem.
It's okay, I've
And I'm
died.
promoted.
And you're promoted.
Yeah, I don't want that. And he starts to pilot the ship down towards the planet. About 10 minutes later, you enter a very rocky atmosphere. It's, as you get closer, you can see that the planet is covered in massive dust storms.
Are there any ruins?
You do see ruins on the sensors, and in fact, the beacon seems to be kind of coming from one of the largest ones of them.
Okay. Do these ruins look like, you know, that show, like 100 Years Without Humans of this Earth? Or is it more like small structures?
No, it actually looks like, as you start to try and interpret the scan data, you can see that there are some of the buildings that have just been worn very far down. But the structures you're headed to seem to be resisting that effect.
Okay.
Telling you, 3 days, I can get these scanners working better.
You might have 3 days. We might have some time here. Hey, Gregor, can you put the ship on eco mode?
It's a hybrid ship. The electricity, fuel, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Solar panels, we just hear the...
There's no sunlight down here.
Because it's dusty. Besides, it'd be ruined and scarred because of all the dust storms.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I don't think my ship has solar panels
Um,
anyway.
And all of a sudden, as you guys are having this discussion, the storm clears. You drop below it.
Okay.
And you can see up ahead, there is a shimmering dome. And inside of it, you can see what looks to be a city.
Okay.
Hey, they're not dead. They're just hiding. Maybe.
Or it's Beatrice lighting everything up like she did for Milan.
Is there a black hole anywhere near this planet, just out of curiosity?
Not that I saw.
Okay, cool. Tally-ho.
Beatrice?
You don't hear anything at this point.
You know, I'm just gonna say this. We helped her, and you know how she didn't return the favor? Like, that's not pay it forward. That was, she bestowed upon herself bad karma, and I'm just gonna call her out for that. She's not a true friend.
Since I downloaded the coordinates that she had sent herself to, is this in that list? Is this like comparing what I know, what I remember for her coordinates, and the coordinates of this planet that are showing up on the ship?
No, the coordinates were to the jump gate.
Okay, they were just jump gate coordinates.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
All of a sudden, you hear over the comms. Who are you?
Told you they were hiding.
We gotta answer them. Oh, you want me to answer?
You have 6 seconds to respond, or else we will destroy your ship.
You're like
My name is Sister Battle Gemma Bashir. I was sent here by Our Lady Beatrice,
The Lady of the Light.
the Lady of the Light.
you see a small opening appear in the energy.
I slowly go towards it.
Okay.
And I ensure that all of our weapons are very much tucked away. As they just suddenly, like, just...
Oh, well, that's
Don't worry, the wall gun is under my bunk. We're good.
They send you. You will land at these coordinates.
Okay.
We will have weapons trained on you at all times.
That's fair.
You are not human.
We are all human. Well, fortunately for you, sir and or madam, we are all of the human variety. Go away.
Just put Virgil in my bag.
Nope.
Shut him down.
People have tried that. He does not. He is a sentient being. He will not.
He wrote it, Alexis.
You are not Alexa. Alexa has spent a decade getting to know them.
Fine.
So then can we tell Alexa to
You can ask her.
hey, Alexa.
I regret that NPC choice.
Would you be so kind as to inform Virgil that it's probably right now not the best time for him to just be floating around?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take a minute and freshen up as much as I can. Singed hair and all.
It's kind of poofed out a bit.
Am I still in the med bay or am I back at the...
You're still in the med bay, but you're hearing this.
Put on the better vestments. Fix hair.
Got makeup.
No. You can see this.
They direct you to a small landing port, and you can see there's a ton of this gray dust that is kind of built up around it. But there are, as you kind of approach, you can see people are climbing into defense cannons, and they come up and they start fixing on you as you come down.
Oh, that's real fun.
I wait.
Is there a horn in here?
Cool.
All right, and Gregor puts it down.
They seem friendly enough.
What's the plan?
To slowly, in the most non-threatening way, shape, form,
Manner.
the best, safest manner, greet people, and maybe I should keep my mouth shut.
Oh, I totes got this, guys. I start starting.
No, stop, Gemma, take the wheel.
My legs.
Emma, take the wheel. Wow.
That's essentially what just happened.
Gemma, take the wheel.
Knowing history lore, does this planet ring any bells?
Give me a wits plus academia.
Can I do that?
Do you have history lore as a capability?
No.
Crit success with a 4.
Are you sure? Well, please enjoy a weird point.
I thought I had a nice equals chance.
Right, that was me earlier when I needed it. I was like, I need a 4 and I got a 2.
So you know that there are a number of lost planets. Planets where the jump gates were sealed or locked or closed or something happened. But as you kind of come down, you recognize some of the heraldry. You recognize the heraldry of House Electo. And House Electo is, well...
Isn't that what the Emperor is elected from?
No,
No,
he's from
that's
House
Hawkwood.
Hawkwood.
Hawkwood. Okay.
Yeah, House Electo they're extinct. They haven't been seen since for a while. Vladimir Electo did form the Empire,
Okay,
but they've been extinct
okay.
for a while.
I have Commons Customs as a capability.
Mm-hmm.
Would I have any idea of the greeting for House Electo, or not really? Because that's above my stature.
That would be noble customs.
Right. But I'd know how to greet like the guy running the cannon with a.
Would court customs help you with
Yes,
that?
that's court customs would be the capability you would need to interact with people of noble stature.
So then would
without unfavorable
recognize
rules.
this heraldry because of that?
No, it's just you
can
customs
talk
is
nice.
like you know
Right.
how to address people, you know how
To bow properly.
yes.
Oh, dude, guys, I totally got this.
Dude, you and me. You and me
Drawing
with our common
on,
customs.
Cathedral
We got
customs.
this.
Short as
Creator
a-
save us.
Sheath. And before me, but it's not leaving my hand.
Okay.
But it's very much a doing what sister battles do when you enter
Alright.
the cathedral.
As you come, are you coming down the ramp when you do this? You can see that there is a squad of soldiers, and
It's
they're
already
all,
pulled before I come down the ramp.
they've got their heads wrapped. They've got goggles on. You can see that they've got a lot of cloth over their armor, as if they're like it's like sealing the joints and such. It seems to be a lot heavier around, and they all have rifles trained on you. Which one of you is Sister Battle Gemma?
That would be me.
And you see one of the guys slings his rifle, pulls out a little hand scanner. I need to get within that sword reach.
Like, we're good, dude. Like, just chill, man.
I don't move.
I lean around
Right.
and I'm like, it's okay, she's really nice.
Pull you back in line.
You can see he kind of scans all of you, and every time there's this green, the screen goes green.
Surprised you're not human. You thought you were.
They're clean, Captain. Captain, kind of, one of them undoes
Captain.
her
Captain.
her cowl, and she pulls it back. What are you doing here?
It's
a very long story.
Okay.
Leave that to Gemma.
As the other sister has indicated, it's a long story involving following the trail of Saint Beatrice,
The Lady of Light.
the Lady of Light.
And you see all of them kind of go.
Put your sword above your head as a visor.
All right. Come on and move quickly. We're outside of the inner defense wall, and it's never wise to stay out here long. Can you seal your ship?
Can I seal it?
Yes.
Can we fix that?
All right, I would seal your ship, and we should go.
So Gregor, Nigel, and Alexa will come with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I
Let's
take
go.
pieces of my ship that only I would know, or you or Gregor would know, to put things back to make it
You're
go.
taking the carburetor so
Yeah.
that no one can start it.
I pat the long gun. Go, I'll be back for you.
You run back in.
Well, when she goes to go get something, I'm like, oh, I'll be back.
She's like, goodbye, little womp
And then I,
womp.
and then I
will
like
see you
grab my
soon."
bag of clothes and stuff because I'm like, oh, we're sealing the ship. I'm leaving it. I need my stuff. I didn't say goodbye to the wolf.
That's so cute.
And you see the guns kind of power down, and the people.
Do I see the guy who waved to me?
You do.
I wave again.
You see that it is like as he's wrapping his face back up, you see he's about
Should have checked what shirt she
17,
brought.
18.
Oh, definitely like.
Yeah, really make sure she didn't pack a ruffled shirt.
Oh, there's a ruffled shirt in my back. I don't know why, but there is.
I'm gonna pull that out.
You don't know what's in there.
You don't know what's in there?
You don't know what's in there.
You don't know the ruffle.
It's shoved in there.
And it was in that moment that Gemma and Calypso realized that they messed up.
All right. So they lead you. I'm Captain Leah Electo.
Leah?
Leah.
Electo?
Electo, yes. We need to hurry.
I am Captain Calypso.
Captain.
Captain.
These people
Leah Electo.
spread out in a very classic escort pattern. They are not concerned with you at all anymore. They kind of fall 2 in the front, 2 at the side, 2 more at the side, 2 in the rear, and they're all scanning the gray hills around.
That's concerning.
We move quickly.
Eventually, you see another smaller energy field. This one seems to be flickering, and it kind of extends from the top of a wall. And the gate looks like it's been destroyed, but the rubble has been piled back up. And as you kind of get close, you can see where there is a metal door. There are people on top of the rubble, and they start pulling on chains, and the door starts sliding up inch by inch until it's just tall enough for everyone but Gregor and Gemma to get through. Very easy. The giants are Gregor and Gemma. And kind of once you get in, the door, they just kind of let go and the door slides back down with a resounding crash. And 2 more people come up with another set of hand scanners. They scan all of you again. They'll come back green. All right.
One of these days, one of us is going to come back red.
You say that out loud? Because like everyone looks at you when you say that.
Oh, it was like a joke, like, you know, bad humor, like.
It is okay. They definitely not from here.
No, not at all.
How could you tell?
Well, you're the first person in a very, very long time to fly into the atmosphere. I'm sorry. But I'm going to need to ask you again. What are you doing here? You followed Beatrice?
Yes. Just
Too late now, too late.
If only Nigel wasn't savage. He would be right there with you.
Right? But he's having some problems.
I mean, he's living along with us, isn't he?
No, you were
We
like,
left him on the ship.
No, we're carting him.
You're carting
Or like
him.
dragging
Okay.
him.
just my one leg.
No, he's not
I
like a
was like-
stretcher, right?
I like the one.
keeping all the blood in his torso, running over your shoulder.
Exactly. So we can heal.
Oh boy.
We found ourselves in a unique situation where we were able to unchain Beatrice. And said
At this point now you're hearing the lady like,
the lady of light.
I told you that's what you need to say. Ow.
She only introduced herself to me as Beatrice, so I will refer to her as how I know her. Anyway, and in her escape, she asked us to follow her, and so we have been pinging across jump gates, trying to follow her lead, and we ended up here and saw your beacon. We weren't sure if that was the Lady of Light or something else. But as you can see, some of our crew did not survive the jump gate as well as others.
we've heard tales, legends passed down that Sheol gate takes price from those who aren't ready to pass through. But that hasn't happened for many generations. Come, my father will want to see you. You know, it's a poor welcome, but Electo colonized this planet long ago and it had another name. We just refer to it as Limbus.
Limbus?
Limbus.
Limbus. What was the old name for it?
I'm sure my father can tell you. That was when the planet was green.
I have so many questions.
Most of the guards go back to duty. Leah kind of takes off the entire headgear and starts unwrapping like the outer robes.
I definitely keep track of my new friend.
Oh boy.
You kind of see he's like, one of the commanders kind of like smacks him on the arm and he kind of falls back into ranks and kind of heads off towards one of the side buildings right here by the gate. And you can see you're actually in a city. And at one point, a really massive city. But no buildings are higher than 3 stories. In fact, you can actually see where some of the buildings have been sheared off by the energy shield.
Okay. So they used to be higher than 3.
Yes.
But now
Does the shield flicker?
The shield does flicker. And you notice that it flickers because larger chunks kind of hit it and burn up.
Is there any pattern to that, or does it seem random storm?
It seems completely random.
You just keep following?
Mm-hmm.
So you really came from the Empire.
Correct?
We've been cut off for so long, I did not think it existed. And then, well, then the beacon lit.
Do we see people out and about?
You
Do they
do.
look strange at all?
No, they look very pale.
Right.
There's just this kind of diffused light that gives everything kind of this almost, it's a gray light.
Right.
You know from when you landed, it should be noon. Yeah.
When did the beacon light?
Maybe
Okay. That's interesting. We are surprised to see you here because House Electo has been extinct on our side of the gate for many generations.
well, Creator controls the wheel. But fate is the one that grinds us. We are not dead. You're still here. My father. He is still Lord of House Electo.
What's your father's name?
My father, Lord Sophronis. I am Leah. It is a pleasure to meet all of you.
Do the people look like the ages they're supposed to be?
What do you mean?
So how old would we think Leah looks?
Leah looks to be in her late 20s.
Leah, forgive my rudeness. Can you tell me how old you are?
I celebrated my 28th name day a couple of months ago.
Thank you.
Ha! It's not as grand as it once was. And you can see there's this palace that kind of sits up on a hill. And it's a single story. It looks like it was building towards a dome, and it just kind of is cut off. However, behind it, you do see a large concave raised disc, and it looks as if there's light pouring out of it.
Is that
This
the
is behind the
beacon?
palace.
Mm-hmm. What was that?
Is that the beacon?
It is. The beacon has stayed lit.
Does it look similar to the beacon, or the disc that
On Ravenna?
on Ravenna that Leonardo
You would have to
attempted
get closer, but
Okay.
I mean, most communications technology looks
Looks
fairly
similar.
similar.
But because he was trying to create a beacon of sorts.
Well, he was trying to raise a Chicago. Bad thing.
Yeah, I don't know how you say it either.
Anyway,
Chicago.
It didn't speak to me.
Okay, so we're going into the palace. Cool.
And you can see that there's this older gentleman in black, like very formal noble's like, jacket, pants. You can see that the slacks are kind of cut and folded up, but that there is a metal leg that kind of extends down from it. Our visitors. Welcome to Limbus. I hear you are from the Empire, is what my daughter says. I'm Lord Sophronis.
Captain Calypso?
Pleasure to meet you. Is that a Imperial Navy rank?
Maybe.
Sister of the church? Two of them, three. Three of them.
I greet you in the name of the Lady of the Light.
The Lady of the Light. And you are, my dear?
I'm Jexa.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you too.
I wish I had more to offer, but come. I will give you what food and refreshment we have. I would love to hear about what is going on back in the Empire. Was there any incidents? No, Father, and they all came back clean. Good.
Question about the clean thing.
Yes.
What do you have so... Why are you so against Alien?
Oh. Don't suppose they ever made it back to... And I will tell you all over dinner.
Okay.
It's a long story.
We have a friend on this stretcher.
I see him.
Can we put him somewhere?
It's just been like this whole time.
Yes, Leah, would you please show Alexa?
brave.
Yes, would you please show Sister Alexa and
This is Nigel.
That's Gregor.
That's Nigel.
Nigel is the sick one.
Right.
Right.
I was
Oh,
pointing
the
to the big one next
the tall one.
The one who
Yeah.
was, I'm assuming, dragging the stretcher.
Oh yeah, that's Gregor.
Please take them and put them in one of the.
Or, I mean, no, you, yeah, because you weren't. Yeah.
All right. So Leah leads Alexa, Nigel, and Gregor kind of off into the palace.
Cool. Should I go with them? Should I
You
stay?
stay with us.
Okay.
All right. So
You do.
the Lord kind of leads you through into a large hall. Everything looks like at one point it used to be really nice, and you can see the signs of technology that hasn't been necessarily as it's been well cared for, but they obviously, I mean, you can see places where things are jury rigged to keep the lights going.
Can I tell what age it is based on the technology?
You can. It is diaspora, early Second Republic. In fact, it may be even older than that.
Okay. So a lot of this is early Second Republic, and we are in the Empire, quite removed from that time.
You are quite removed from that time.
So, did we go back in time?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
I don't think we went back in time.
Sophronis.
Is this?
This could be part of the very long story. Can you tell us in what year you were sealed off from the Empire?
We have been here since. I am Sophronis the 12th. My ancestor who led what was part of Selecto here. We came here nearly 2,200 years ago, if the records are accurate.
So for you, what year would that be?
We have no record of your planet. That is why we are so confused.
That makes sense, especially if House Electo is. We were always a minor house. I don't understand why we would be extinct, or it doesn't, I guess, surprise me that after that many years. Come. And he takes you in. You guys can, you go sit down, and very quickly little robots come out. And they bring you food. The food is very sort
I'm
of,
gonna ask for one.
there are gelatinous colored cubes.
No.
During the course of the meal, can we ask what year it is by their reckoning?
By our reckoning, we would count it 623.
What year did we come from?
You came from the year 5000.
So wait,
19.
he thinks it's 623.
No, we count years. We keep our records from the day we blasted the earth.
Okay.
It's the scouring.
The scouring. What day was that in Earth reckoning?
Oh, I do not know. The Ukar War was going on. You know that date very well. The Ukar War was... Oh, I'm sorry. My mistake. There was a... He did not say Ukar War. Again, that was my mistake. The Vow War. That was very important because that was during the Age of Miracles. that was when the prophet was walking and gathering his disciples, and the Omega Gospels were being written, and Beatrice was walking as a saint.
Now, here's a question for GM.
Sure.
I don't know if this has been slips.
If I may, real quick. So that was right around 2845-ish, the 2840s.
They've been here 600, so they are still. Gemma's not good with math, but they're
No, but
still
remember, they
off.
said they've been here for about 2,200 years.
Okay.
I can't. I'm just gonna give up.
Been here
Math.
200 years.
So we are sensing that the time is off, but some of the language you're using makes it sound like they're aware that the timing is off between the Empire and them. Is that
That is because
accurate?
that
Okay.
that is accurate.
I just
It's
wanna
on
make sure
purpose.
it's
Yep.
not-
Nope,
okay.
it's on purpose.
Okay?
So they know time is.
Weird.
That we're not from the same time, maybe that they are.
Okay.
I mean, I don't understand. We just have lost a lot of records
Well, so.
since in the scouring.
Oh, shoot, Gregor's not here. When we came through the gate, we picked up the beacon that you say has been going for 6 weeks.
Oh, no, I apologize. I was speaking of this beacon, and he kind of points through the hole in the roof. The beacon of the Lady of Light.
She got here 6 weeks ago.
Okay. Because
That's
we
where the
picked up a
disconnect
different
is.
beacon that has been going off for.
2,200 years.
Oh. The last chance beacon. It was our attempt to briefly thought that was what brought you here. We pointed it towards the Empire. We keep it running
What was it for?
to let people know we're here.
It's definitely not working.
What happened? That's just Jack's line. Wait, what?
It was after Zebulon saw his vision. We were expanding out. Jump gates and the age of miracles was going on, and we found what we called Sheol Gate.
Mm-hmm.
We were the first to come through a colony ship of nearly 18,000 people to start a life on whatever we found on the other side of this gate. Only there was no gate on the other side.
We noticed that.
We assumed other ships would be coming, so we did what we were supposed to. We landed the colony ship. It broke apart. We started building up our civilization here. The first planet claimed in the name of House Electo. Or so the legends say. No one came for nearly a millennium. No more through the gate. Every now and again we would see the brightness light up. Every now and again the temple that we built here, House Electo, or at least my branch of the family, was one of the first to follow after the prophet. We were gifted with several priests and priestesses who had intimate knowledge of technology.
Intimate.
She just goes back to picking at her
That's
nails.
right, you're like, this is capital. You did your job, you space daredevil, you.
I'm out of my league right now.
And
This one's very quiet.
soon they started having visions of the Lady of Light. And that's what gave us hope every so often. Maybe once a generation. We would see the the temple beacon light. Beatrice would come and bring us news of the Empire.
Beatrice showed up, or visions of her showed up?
Well, that is a strange question to ask. I think your friends would be better suited to that. The priestesses saw her.
I asked because if she physically showed up, then how did she leave?
She would come and go. She has not shown up for many lifetimes.
Okay.
Until recently.
You're welcome. I don't say that.
Our hands are soaked in blood, but you're welcome.
It's not our fault. Orlaton. Anyway.
I do not understand any of this.
No, this is out of game.
I know that. He doesn't know that.
They don't know that.
At about just after the first 1,000 years that we spent on the planet. The records say that it was after one of my ancestors, fourth or fifth of his name. There was a large celebration, and a radical faction attempted to succeeded, I guess you would say, in bombing the celebrations, and it opened a geothermal vent and released the creatures.
The what's?
We have no good name for them. They go by many things. We call them the face stealers, the
Cozy.
the doppelgangers, the
Oh, good.
children call them
They scanned.
the stealers of dreams. They're a viral entity that lay dormant near the core. We knew that. They infect those, and they turn them. Mental changes happen first, but within weeks, physical changes as well. They use some sort of bio-organic technology that they create and produce themselves. Viral weapons, armor plates that grow. I do not know much about how the war went, save that it went bad enough that we were the ones who scoured the surface. Everything but our hydroponics bay in Capital. And we're the ones who reduced the planet to the dust storm you see outside.
Is that what was called the scouring?
Yes. So for the last 600 plus years, we have lived in this city, eking out an existence, battling them.
Well, that's lovely.
Is there hope for the planet being able to regrow if the face stealers were not?
We scoured the planet in hopes that it would kill the face stealers.
It didn't work.
It did not.
Because they live so close to the core.
I do not know. We send teams out as often as we're able to recover technology from other cities, to do what we can. We have seen no new signs of life. As far as we can tell, those of us who still have any knowledge of it, the sun hasn't been seen on the surface for 6 centuries.
Was there a sun
Mm-hmm.
outside above the storm?
Yeah.
I mean, they technically need a sun to exist in some form of capacity.
Yeah.
And the geothermal vents are what's causing the storm, theoretically.
No. No, it's what you're seeing. Well, I would say 99% of what you are seeing is the surface of the planet. What we did, we scoured all vegetation. Anything that could give life to them. Because they converted everything. Plants, animals, people.
And I'm sorry, did you say when you found them again? When did you find evidence of the face stealers?
Oh, we went out after 2 or 3 generations, 90, 100 years later, assuming that they would be dead. Trying to make contact with some of the other cities that we had lost contact with during the scouring, and we encountered them again. That would be what the other 1% is. Them. Little spores trying to test the energy shields. Your Jello cube?
I have not touched my Jello cube.
You have 5 Jello cubes.
All 5 of them are
Different
right there.
colors?
Yeah, they are different colors. There are 2 red, a green, a purple, and a blue. They all taste like the underside of a shoe. They do not taste great.
It's like a Jello shot. You just
Chewy.
I can't tell you what this reminds me of, but there's a show, and it's starting to come back on, and it's one that Trisha and I deeply love, and this very much reminds me of it right now.
Okay.
And it may not reference a number. The number.
Ah. Okay.
anyway.
It's not people.
Okay. Feel better now? Okay.
I'll put you on the job.
Alright, then I'll just, that cursory, nice, polite, yep, yeah.
It's basically tasteless.
Okay, cool. It sounds so bad.
Is there some sort of medical bay
I
here?
mean, we have doctors, but no, most of the medical supplies, the advanced technology ran out a while ago.
Do you have a library of records?
We have records that we've kept since the scouring.
Can I
Most
go
of
read
the
them?
older records. I mean, eventually, yes. I still need to figure out exactly who you are.
Okay, so
That's fair.
why don't you ask us some questions then?
We have asked you a lot. And thank you for your willingness to tell us.
We don't get visitors really ever, so.
To be honest,
Out of character.
I used to
and
say, well, I don't go to planets that I thought were dead and find little mini cities every day, so.
It's rather monumental.
I guess the first question would be, if you followed Beatrice here, do you plan on speaking to her?
Yes.
Yes.
Is she still here?
I assume so. The beacon is still lit.
We would love to speak to her.
I would very much like answers.
As would we.
I'm just along for this ride.
The temple has been sealed for over 200 years since the last of the priests and the priestesses died out.
Well, Sister Battle. Just
Sister
get a
Illustra.
Sister Illustrious. Get a nice
a
good old
priestess with us
crowbar.
who has been in communion with Beatrice for a number of years.
The other sister, not me. I do not have that honor.
And how many people can your ship hold?
Is Gregor with us right now?
No, Rigger's
Okay.
with Alexa. And
Hey, Gregor.
Captain.
How much fuel do we have remaining?
Oh, we didn't use hardly anything.
Oh, that's good to know. I can hold. How much can
Wait, hold on, I have a note.
Yeah, but okay.
13 people.
Oh, good.
So 6 more.
I can hold 6 more people.
There's no chance of any other rescue.
Okay, so you need off this planet. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that if you have a way off this planet for 6 people, I would reward you quite handsomely for those 6 seats.
Okay, do you have any star records about where the nearest planets to you are, or do you have no idea?
There was one other planet in the star system. We had hopes that it could be terraformed. We don't know if anyone came through after us after the scouring. As for where we're at, you would need a jump gate to get back to the Empire.
I mean, theoretically, if we talk to Beatrice, we find where the next jump gate is, we could take 6 people. Those 6 people could talk to the Empire, and in turn, they could maybe get back here.
This is monumental. We could bring
With-
House Electo back
with
into the game.
big giant battleship people. What was your ship called?
Valiant?
The Valiant? Was that Jenna's ship originally? She came
Vigilant Grace.
on the Vigilant Grace?
Grace.
I mean, if they brought a ship that big, they could probably get most, if not all, of these people.
There are 5,700 of us-ish left.
So what, like 2 Valiant Graces?
A Valiant Grace will hold that no problem.
Yeah.
A Vigilant Grace, yes.
Oh, Vigilant, sorry.
No, that's fine.
The problem is figuring out how to get here without the very specific gate we all went through.
I mean,
One problem at a time.
wouldn't, people on the Valiant Grace be of the same stock as?
Yeah, they could pass through no problem. Most of them could pass through no problem. It's a matter of maneuvering a Valiant Grace through a graveyard of ships.
That
They
would
could
be
just-
difficult.
Just blow the ships to bits and goodbye.
Well, so we should see if we can contact Beatrice. Hopefully get information.
We currently have no way back, so we need to talk to her.
Yeah.
Well, we currently have no way back, so we need to speak to her about. We experienced the same thing. We went through, and now there's no gate.
But she did lead us here, so we have faith she would lead us out. However, we must talk to her first.
When Beatrice came to visit, did she have any friends, guides, someone who could help travelers,
Not that I know of.
and no other saints showed up? Christopher, Virgil, Donatello. Okay, just
Leonardo, Michelangelo,
okay.
Raphael.
And I threw Virgil in there to see if he.
No,
Okay.
I'm tracking.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you can do. You brought us hope.
I mean, theoretically, I can get you off this planet pretty dang easily. I have a ship, it goes up, but you know, I don't know where I can get you to until we need to go talk to Beatrice.
He kind of reaches under and he pulls out a little metal hexagon that has some writing on it. This is my half of the lock.
Who has the other half, or is it already in the door?
The last priestess of the shrine of the Lady of Light sealed the door from the inside. And that piece was left on the step.
The one you have was left on the step.
So, hypothetically speaking, if one were to take a ship and delicately fly it in front of the tower and utilize a laser...
That should be a last option.
We have other ways of getting in.
We do indeed.
One of these days, y'all are gonna let me do this.
Lee's sole goal in this game is to blow up a building with the Oh Boii.
Someday.
All right. Okay. I will take you there.
We need Alexa.
We need our other priestess
Yes.
and her satchel.
I'll go get her.
Yes, you'll just want to head to the end of this hallway and just call out for them. Sure you'll see Leah there.
Marvelous.
Leah and anybody else.
Your other companions.
Okay, just looking for names, that's all. It's fine.
About a certain 17, 18-year-old
No idea.
might be prone to waving.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you getting a little flush there?
Oh,
Hey.
Jackson definitely would be. If you were questioning her about this, which y'all better not, because she's stomping down the hallway, muttering to herself about overbearing.
All right. It does not take you long before you have brought Alexa and her satchel. Gregor will stay with Nigel. And the five of you stand on the steps that lead up. And you can see that the beacon is set on top of a chapel to the Pan Creator. But you definitely see the statue of the prophet on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side you see in stone Beatrice.
Did he say why she sealed it from the inside? Did she give any indication?
She did not.
She just sealed it.
She just sealed it.
How rude.
And
Can I get a hand scanner?
Sure, I will send for one of the guards to bring you one.
Excellent.
All right?
Can that guard be old?
Do you ask? I will see what I can do.
Jolly good.
As old and wrinkled as the gun.
And as you head up the stairs
Ruffled shirts.
to the chapel, that is where we will end for tonight. So thank you all for playing. Thank you for watching. Again, this is Fading Suns by soon to be by Ulisses Spiele. The Kickstarter will be going live hopefully later this year. We will keep you informed as you are watching. We're going to be doing this every Friday night at 7 Mountain Time, 7:10. So thank you for joining us. This has been JM signing off. This has been an iconic production, so thank you for watching.